Belize this week: safety, immigration, hurricane season, and Placencia development. Before you make a Belize decision based on headlines, Facebook panic, or somebody's vacation version of the country, get the grounded updates that help you think clearly before you move. Join my email list. I'll leave the link in the description below. This was one of those weeks in Belize where the news was not just news. It was a reminder. If you are thinking about moving to Belize, retiring there, buying property, or spending part of the year there, you have to look at the country like a future resident. Not like a tourist, not like someone scrolling pretty beach videos at midnight, but like a resident. This week, 4 Belize stories stood out for expats: the state of emergency in Belize City and parts of Belize District, immigration department concerns, hurricane season preparation, and dredging worries in Placencia. Different stories, same lesson. Belize can be a good fit, but you need to understand how it works before you build your life around it. First up, the state of emergency. Don't panic, but don't ignore it either. The big headline this week was the state of emergency declared for Belize City Northside and Southside, plus parts of Belize District, including Ladyville, Burrell Boom, Lemonau, Isabella Bank, Rancho Dolores, and other listed communities. The U.S. Embassy alert said the emergency began May 8, 2026, followed a recent increase in crime, and was scheduled to last up to 30 days at that time. That matters. But here is where expats need to be careful. A state of emergency in specific areas does not mean every part of Belize is suddenly unsafe. Belize City is not Placencia. Ladyville is not San Pedro. Burrell Boom is not Corozal. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make is asking, is Belize safe? That question is too broad. The better question is, safe where, at what time, doing what, with what local knowledge? I've seen this go wrong before. A headline hits, Facebook groups light up, and suddenly people who do not understand the geography are giving life-changing advice to strangers. That is not wisdom. That is panic with a comment section. For expats, the practical move is simple. Know the affected areas, monitor official updates, listen to local authorities, and do not pretend every safety issue applies equally across the country. In fact, reach out to me if you like to connect with great real estate agents in Belize to help you find a safe area to live. The second story was quieter but very important for expats. Belize's Ministry of Immigration, Governance and Labor said it had launched internal reviews into reports of possible embezzlement at the Belize City Immigration Department office, and it was also investigating 2 missing nationality certificates from the Belma Point office. Now, this is not a reason to assume every immigration process is broken, but it is a reason to protect yourself. If you are dealing with permanent residency, nationality, QRP, work permits, extensions, or any government paperwork, keep everything. Receipts, copies, photos, stamped pages, emails, names, dates, and payment confirmations. Do not rely on "they should have it in the system." That sentence has caused a lot of stress for a lot of people. Belize is a relationship-based country in many ways, and that can be beautiful. But when it comes to immigration paperwork, you need a paper trail. Not because you are suspicious of everyone, because you are protecting your future self. If you want help thinking through Belize like a resident instead of guessing your way through the process, join my email list or reach out to me. I'll leave the link in the description. I share the real-world details people often miss before they move. The third story was hurricane preparation. There was a meeting with government officials this week to review Belize's readiness before the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season, which begins June 1st. The review included emergency response procedures, shelter lists, shelter repairs, district readiness, supplies, equipment, and public preparedness. This matters for every expat considering coastal Belize: Ambergris Caye, Caye Caulker, Placencia, Hopkins, and Corozal waterfront, anywhere low-lying or storm surge prone. Hurricane season is not a little side detail, it is part of life. Before moving near the water, you need to know your evacuation route, where you would go, what happens to your pets, how you will protect documents, and whether you have the money and mobility to leave early if needed. The preparedness guidance says pets are not allowed at shelters, so pet owners need to make their own arrangements. That is the kind of detail people miss when they are only thinking about palm trees and ocean views. Belize is beautiful, but beautiful does not cancel preparation. The fourth story came from Placencia, where residents and marine operators raised concerns about dredging around the lagoon and coastline. Questions were raised about permits, environmental clearances, warning lights, navigational markers, marine safety, and possible effects on marine habitats. This is not just an environmental story. For expats, this is a property risk story. If you are buying or renting near water, you need to care about what is happening around that water. Is dredging happening nearby? Were permits issued? Could water quality change? Could boat traffic change? Could the view, access, mangroves, marine life, or long-term property value be affected? A lot of people fall in love with Placencia quickly. I understand why. But love is not due diligence. Before buying property in any fast-growing area of Belize, ask harder questions. Development can bring opportunity, but it can also bring disputes, environmental stress, and surprises that do not show up in a real estate photo. Reach out to me with the link in the description for a due diligence checklist. This week's Belize news is not telling you to avoid Belize. It is telling you to slow down and think clearly. The state of emergency reminds you that safety is local. The immigration story reminds you that paperwork matters. The hurricane preparation story reminds you that coastal living comes with responsibility. The Placencia dredging story reminds you that beauty still needs due diligence. That is the real expat lesson. Belize may still be the right move for you. But do not choose it only because it feels good. Choose it because you understand how it functions. If Belize is on your radar, join my email list. I'll help you see the country beyond the postcard version, so you can make a smarter decision before you spend serious money or make a major move. Most people ask, can I see myself living in Belize? That is a fair question. But the better question is, can I handle the real Belize, not just the pretty version? That is where the better decisions start. Please like, share, and subscribe if this video was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.